Everybody, what is going on? It is Crypto Bobby. Hope you are having a great day, great night, wherever you are watching in from. Thank you to everybody who is in the chat already. What is up, everybody? Hope you are having a good one. Let me just make sure that all this stuff is all set up and good to go. Sweet. What is up, folks? What's up? Obviously, a big, interesting day in the crypto markets. I was driving into the office this morning when literally I think I was sitting on the George Washington Bridge in traffic, because that's what happens when you are driving into work. But sitting on the GW and looked at looked at Delta actually, and it was just through the roof, and I was pretty excited about it. So definitely a fun day to be in crypto. I mean, as we're looking here, I think it was, what time was it? Pretty much at 7 a.m. this morning, literally when I was in the heart of my commute. The market was going nuts. I would have loved to have not been sitting on the GW, because then I could have gone live. That would have been fun. But I'm doing that now after work, so appreciate the patience on that. But it's been an interesting day across the board, because number one, Bitcoin had a massive green candle, and now we're kind of pumping back up to where we topped out in that. We topped out at around $8,000. We're there very briefly, and we're kind of slowly creeping back up, which is certainly a positive thing to see. But not only did Bitcoin run significantly, but also the altcoins. The majority of altcoins really did well. In addition to that, I mean, if we're on-chain FX here, I think every single, we'll refresh the screen, but I think every single cryptocurrency is in the green today. There we go. We need the 24 hours. Where's 24-hour change? Fix this. There we go. 24-hour change versus USD. Every single cryptocurrency is in the green. Somebody's saying the mic is pretty low. I'll up it a little bit here. Hopefully that'll be a little bit better for you. But yeah, every single thing was in the green, and there were huge concentration of short sellers that got murdered this morning as well with that 1 hour candle. Short selling. There was a chart I had here. Somebody sent me this. I think it was CoinBase, my dude. But you could see the number of shorts that were open, and you could see it just fall off the map at 7 o'clock. I think it was up to maybe, I think it was 40,000. It's pretty much, I'm pretty sure, I believe it was an all-time high for the number of shorts that were open. I think it was 40,000 or so, and it dropped down massively over the course of that hour to 2 hours, where the price of Bitcoin just absolutely crushed it. So Frank Ternay saying, don't feel bad for the shorts. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling too bad for the shorts. I am massively long, so that was definitely a good thing on my end, and I was happy to see that. But it was a huge short squeeze, which was pretty interesting to see. Yeah, Kyle Babcock saying Loop's made enough money already. It's time for revenge. And it's been, I think there's a tendency to overreact all the time anytime there's a slight move, but today is definitely a solid move to the upside. And I know we're still, I know we're still at this point in time, like the whole discussion around taxes and the end of tax season and things like that. I do think that both the tax season in Japan, tax season in the US, did have a pretty significant impact on things, and I think we're kind of nearing the end of that effect of people selling off cryptocurrency and the sell pressure because of taxes and because of kind of having to pay for all of the gains. I mean, we talked about before, Fundstrat, Tom Lee had mentioned potentially $25 billion of tax liability in the U.S. And obviously there's other countries besides the United States as well, which everybody yelled at me when I made those comments. But there's obviously other countries out there as well. So I think there was a huge amount of tax liability across the board. And I think we're kind of getting to the end of that. I think regulation-wise, we're still seeing some different things. But overall, when you're looking at Bitcoin, I'm kind of getting the feeling that, I know, I tweeted about this as well, Pantera Capital, got here. So Pantera, what do we got? If you're not familiar with Pantera Capital, they are pretty much one of the leading one of the leading and largest, really one of the leading and largest like hedge funds in the cryptocurrency space, Dan Morehead, which was one of the first individuals that really made a massive bet on Bitcoin and on cryptocurrency. Their returns, I forget what they were just massive, like astronomical returns. But yeah, they have over $800 million in assets right now. And Dan Morehead and Joey Krug, both at Pantera, came out and said in their report to investors that they believe that $6,500 is going to be the low of the bear market this year. So I mean, if you are in that portion, that would be pretty awesome. If you kind of agree with that sentiment, I posted this on Twitter. Some people are like, you're full of it. They're full of it. They have no idea what's going on. But if there's, I'm not going to say Pantera is the smartest people in the world. But they've had some pretty damn good calls, and they made some pretty big concentrated bets on Bitcoin and on cryptocurrency in the past, and they've been extremely, extremely profitable. So if it's going to come down to, taking the word of a Pantera versus potentially some random frog on the internet, I might go with Pantera. Taking a look at some of these questions here as I'm kind of popping through here. John By, Bitcoin is a scam. You are all going to the hells. Yep, that's us. So looking at some of these questions, definitely feel free to start kind of asking them along. And so I really haven't made much of a move. I haven't made much of a move at all as far as just my portfolio goes. The only move that I really made today, I scaled further into a position in Cardano, and that's worked out all right. Once Cardano broke through 2,500 Satoshis, I